If you need to when you're reviewing tonight, you can go back and look at. Okay?
I'll make some comments on it.
Well, we're recording right now, so I don't know that you can hear unless you yell, but because the microphone is right here. Okay, so I mean that's kind of true. It says write the slope-intercept form, yeah? What is slope-intercept form? Okay, so y equals mx plus b, and I want to write the equation. Now, I don't have the y-intercept, so what's the easiest way to write this equation? Point slope. So y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, right? Guys, if you download this on your computer, you have more space, like I have space right here. So if you want to work it on your computer, that's all you have, right? I didn't print it for you. Just kidding. Okay, so what would I fill in? Okay, so negative 4 is a y value, so that goes in here, makes that a positive 4, right? What goes where? In here? Oh, outside, like right there? Right. Slope goes here, x goes here, and then y goes there, right? We good? Well, it actually asked me to put it in mx plus b form, so what should I do? Solve for y, what would you do? So what does y equal? 2x minus 4, I'm going to subtract another 4, minus minusing 8. Okay, and there we go. Okay, so what about this one? Let's just go through it real quick. So y minus what? Y minus 3 equals, okay, times x minus a negative 3, so plus 3. Okay, what are you going to do? Okay, negative 7/3 times x is just negative 7/3 x, right? What is negative 7/3 times 3? Negative 7. The 3's cancel out. Good, so negative 7. I've got y minus 3. I want to solve for y. So y equals a negative 7/3 x minus 4. And there we go. Okay, so we're just going to do one of 3 through 4. 3 and 3 through 4. 3 or 4. Which one? 3 or 4? Okay, let's do 3. I don't really care. Okay, 4. So 4, I need to find the slope, right? How do you find slope? Okay, I'm doing y2 minus y1. Can I do y1 minus y2? Okay. Either way, negative 3 minus 2 over 2 minus a negative 2, yeah? What's that make that? Okay, so y minus x minus, what do I fill in? Okay, you want to do the negative 2 too? Okay, so what goes here? The y value 2. What goes here? Okay, and what goes here? Okay, so plus 2. What are you going to do? Distribute the negative 5/4. So you get negative 5 over 4x. What is negative 5 over 4 times 2? What? Negative 10 over 4? Why don't I just say negative 5 over 2? Right? So negative 5 halves? And I've got y minus 2. I'm trying to solve for y. What am I going to do? Add 2. Do you have a calculator on this portion? Was this the non-calculator portion? Yeah, then no calculator. How do you add negative 5 halves and 2? Negative 5 halves plus 2 over 1. The common denominator is what? 2. So that's 4 halves, right? What is negative 5 halves plus 4 halves? So negative 5 fourths x minus 1 half y equals. And there we go. Okay. Are y'all good with number 5? What is 5? The what? What is negative 3? Negative 3 over 1. Okay, so let's do number 6 together. How am I going to graph 8x minus 3y equals 15? So what were you going to say, Riley? Okay, so negative 3y equals a negative 8x plus 15. Divide what by negative 3? Everything, not just this thing? Okay, thank you. So that cancels out. Y equals what? Okay, so let's sketch it. Where's my y-intercept? What's my slope? So up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3. And there we go. Okay. So tell me, just right quick, what do you, okay, I want to make sure of something. Let's go back here for a second. Guys, what if you end up with a slope of, let's go say, through the point 27, and you have a slope that ends up being 0? It's a horizontal line, which means it's just, remember this is the point 27, so if it's a horizontal line, then that is y equals 7. So that, you get a 0 slope if you get 0 over a number, right? If you get 0 over a number, that is 0. What if you got like a number over 0? What would that be? So slope is undefined. So if you're going through the point negative 4, 3, what kind of line has an undefined slope? So what would the equation be? X equals negative 4. Okay? So don't forget that. Okay. All right. Are y'all cool with what to do on here? What do you do? It's a dash line, so we're doing an inequality. Don't forget that. What if you actually draw a solid line? How do you make it dashed? Dashes on it. Okay, there you go. Okay. So y-intercept is negative 1. Slope is up 2 over 1. Down to the left 1. Dash line. Oof. If you make a solid line and you need to be dashed, just kind of do something like that. Okay. Do I need to shade? It says greater than, yeah? Huh? Greater than. There we go. We done? Okay. Are y'all good with what to do there? What do you do? Move the x over, so what's your slope? Okay, your slope is a negative 1. Solid or dashed? Solid. Are you going to shade above or below? Okay. All right, so what about this one? Okay, so let's talk about everything that it wants. It wants the vertex. It wants the axis of symmetry. It wants the transformation. Ugh, that's not a T. Bull. Transformations. I'm tired of writing that word. Intervals of increasing, decreasing, right? Okay. And domain and range, yeah? They don't ask for much, do they? Okay, so can you tell me, can you go ahead and tell me the transformations? Okay, down 1 in. Okay. Do we all know what this graph is going to look like? Okay, so it's just the to the left 3 and down 1, and that is my what? So I'm going to go ahead and write the point. Okay, so what's my axis of symmetry? Perfect. Okay. What is the slope on either side of this? What's the slope on this side of the remember the absolute value, unless you have a number in the front, it's just that 1, right? So on the left-hand side, what would it be? -1. Y'all don't necessarily think about that. You probably just draw it, yeah? That's okay. Okay, so let's talk about increasing, decreasing. What is it doing on this side of the graph? Okay, so it's decreasing from what to what? Do I include -3? With a bracket? Only parentheses on increasing, decreasing, right? And it's true. Perfect. Now, when am I increasing then? As infinity. Domain? Does it go all the way left and all the way to the right? So domain is all real numbers. Range, does it go all the way down and all the way up? Yeah. Y value though? The lowest Y value with a perfect. Okay. Just tell me, what's the only thing you do on this graph? Up to. Okay, so let's do this one. Where are we moving? Right to, no up or down, right? I flip over the x-axis. So, okay, so if I'm writing your transformations, I'm going to say right to, flip over the x, and then good, vertical stretch by a factor of 2. Okay, so I'm flipping over, and instead of going up 2 and over 1, I'm going to go down 2 into the right one. I have an answer. Yeah. We good? So if I had to, I could say, that's my vertex. Here's my axis of symmetry. I am increasing from negative infinity until when? 2. I am decreasing from 2 to infinity. Domain is what? All real numbers because it goes all the way left and right. Range goes from negative infinity up to, I want to address that real quick. Sometimes people tell me this. Right. I will count off half credit. You have to do negative number first, okay? From bottom to top, from left to right, okay? So, lower number first. Okay? Hey, what if you've already done this problem, good. If you haven't, make that a 1/3. If you've already done it, it's okay. If it is a 1/3, guys, what is that? A vertical what? Compression? Okay, so vertical compression by a factor of 1/3. So do we know where it's going? To the what? Left 1, down 3 with a vertical compression by a factor of 1/3. So let's go ahead and sketch that right quick. To the left 1, down 3. Am I opening up or opening down? Opening up. So up 1 over 3. Up 1 over 3. Are y'all good with what we're doing? Why does it not open down? There's not a negative in the front. Okay, there you go. Okay, now what's the only difference between what we just did and what we're doing now? Okay, so let's just do number 14. Okay, so number 14, where am I going? Okay, I will flip over. So instead of going up, I'm going to go down. To the right 3, and then up to with a vertical what? Vertical stretch by a factor of 2. Is it okay for you to say vertical stretch by a factor of -2? No. The negative is already taken care of with the flip, right? Okay, so there we go. What kind of line do I need to do? A dotted line. No. Not right now. It says less than, so I agree. I'm going to shade underneath. And there we go. Guys, you know what's not on this review? Me already giving you one and you writing the equation. Will that be on the test? Yes. Okay. So like on your homework, whenever I gave you this and then I said, what is the equation of that? And you had to find this. Y'all can do that? Okay, good. All right, let's do this one. Okay, draw a line that crosses both the x and the y-axis but does not go through the origin and does not have a slope of 1 or -1. Guys, would it be smart to just like kind of whoop, draw something, or would you rather pick points and make it purposeful? I would probably pick points and make it purposeful, especially if I'm going to have to know the x and the y-intercept, right? Do I have to know the x? No, I don't. I just have to know the... Okay, so, I don't know. Did y'all just... who already did this problem? Perfect. Okay, so... okay. Shall we go ahead and do this? Pick me a point on the y-axis. 2. Give me a slope. Okay. 2. 5 I wouldn't be able to see. I'm gonna make it though. I'm gonna do 1/2. I believe you, Connor. Okay. Whatever. Okay. Find the slope and the y-intercept. So slope 1/2. Y-intercept. Would your answer probably be easier if your slope was a whole number? Yes. So if it had been 2, this probably would have been a little bit easier, but that's okay. Y-intercept is what? Okay, so if I put that as a point, perfect. Okay, write the equation in point slope and slope intercept form. Point slope, slope intercept. Okay, we can go ahead and do that. Y equals mx plus b. So y equals what? Plus 2? Okay, point slope, y minus. Okay, so what goes with the slope? 1/2. What do you need to do here? Okay, do you have to plug in the y-intercept? You can plug in what? Any point. I'm going to plug in the 0.65. X is 6, y is 5. It doesn't really matter. I get the same answer. Okay? Rewrite the equation in standard form. Okay, so I'm going to take this one. Y equals 1/2 x plus 2. What is standard form, guys? So I need all the x's on the x and the y on the same side, and I don't like what? Fractions. So how do I get rid of this fraction? Everything by 2? So what do I have? 2 times y is 2y. 2 times 1/2 is 1. 2 times 2 is 4. Agreed? What do I need to do? Plus equals. Could you say this? So you don't have a fraction anymore? So whatever the fraction is, just multiply by what's in the denominator. By what? It's just standard form usually has just, do you remember how when we talked about graphing, we said find the y-intercept just by plugging in x equals 0, find the x-intercept by plugging in y equals 0? So much easier. Standard form, just having integers in the front makes it a bit. That's just the form. Okay, draw a line perpendicular to this line. Write the equation of that line. Okay, so here's what I know. Perpendicular means to have a slope of what? If my slope here is 1/2, -2/1, so just -2. Okay, so pick a point that you want to go through. Okay. I'm going to pick this point. Why am I picking that point? Because that's boring. And if I do a slope of -2 here, I don't actually reach it, which I can see where I would go, but I still want to be able to see it. So I'm going to do this one, but this is mine and you can do yours and I don't really care. Write the equation of that line. There you go. That wasn't that fun. Okay. The graph of the function f is shown below. Make a table of values for f and let g equal negative f. Make a table of values? No, we don't need to make a table. Mark that out. Let g equal the negative f of x plus 2 minus 3. Okay, so let's sketch g. Let's talk about the transformations and then let's sketch g. So what are the transformations that happened? Okay, flipped it over the x. Okay, and down 3. Okay, if you want to do it all at one time and you're comfortable with doing that, more power to you. I am going to do it step by step. So the first thing I'm going to do is just flip it over the x, yeah? So what do? Why do I have it, what? That needs to be a down 3, right? Hey, I'm just kidding. Make that a plus 3 because I don't have enough room to go down 3. Make that a plus 3. Good lord, something's up. I don't even know what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm gonna flip it over. So here I start at 0. Do I flip anywhere or do I stay right there? Stay right there. Here I'm at positive 5. Now I want to be at what? Negative 5. Here I'm at positive 1. I want to be at. Here I'm at positive 3. I want to be at. Okay. Now I'm going to draw just a kind of dashed line so I know that's not my final answer. Okay, now where do I want to move? I could, and at this point it doesn't really matter which direction which I do first, but I'm going to go ahead, since I wrote left 2 first, I'm going to do left 2 first. Okay, guys, if you want to during the test, if you want to use my different colored pens, that's fine with me, if you want to have that option. Okay, so left 2 just means take every point and move it to the left 2, yeah? So, and now what am I going to do with that? Up 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, you know what I haven't done on this problem right now? I haven't asked you questions about this graph. Am I likely to ask you questions? Well, I might ask you questions like, what is the domain and what is the range of the original and of the new function? I might ask you questions like, when are we increasing? When are we decreasing? I might ask you questions like, what is the maximum value? I might ask you now, what is g of, let's say, 1? And then you would say, well, g of 1 is 2, yeah? What is the maximum value? Of the new one? 3. Right. Increasing, decreasing. So what am I doing first? Increasing or decreasing? From -4 to -2. If you think about on the bottom right here, breaking it up, then you won't try and use the y value. So from here to here I'm what? So from? Okay, and then from 1 to 4 we are? Okay. What's the domain on this function? New one. Negative 4 to 4. What about the range? There you go. Good. Okay, guys, if you read the directions on this one, it says, let the years be years since 1994. So if 1994 is year 0, 95 is 1, this is, okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. What would you do for your y-axis? I would probably put a break in the graph, and what would you go from? I would go 8 to 11. I would say 8, maybe 9, 10, and 11. Well, I don't want to do 3 dashes, you know what I mean? That's awkward. Putting it into thirds, I don't like doing that. So I'd either want to do 2 or 4, but I don't have enough room to do 4 between them, yeah? Okay, so one, do you want to, I don't know, what do you want to do? Do you just let this be 1, 2, 3, 4, or do you want to break it, or do you should? Which one?
The first one is fine.
First one's fine? Okay. Okay. So, okay. We could plot that, yeah? Okay, if I plot this, I've got 1 is 8.9, 2 is 9.4, 3 is 10, 4 is 10.6. Doesn't get much more linear than that. So I want to sketch the what? Line of best fit. How would you describe the correlation, guys? Strong what? Strong positive correlation. Good. If I was going to draw my line of best fit, I would probably just kind of go through the points, yeah? Okay, could you write the equation for that? Without a calculator?
Oh, you plug in points. You use slope form.
The easiest point to me is 310. You okay with that? So x is 3, y is 10. The slope, I don't know. I mean, do you want to just like... I mean, the way I have it, I'm going through this point and that point. Do you want to find the slope between those two? Okay, so that's the slope between 2, 9.4 and 4, 10.6. Now, what if the one that you graph doesn't go through the points? What do you do? So you know what I would do? Say I didn't go through my points, but I went through other points, and maybe I picked this point, and then I picked another point that I thought pretty close, you know? And then I could find the slope between those 2 points. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, so, okay, let's find the slope. Y minus y over x minus x. What's 10.6 minus 9.4? 1.2? 1.2 divided by 2 is what? 0.6? Okay, so is that the equation in my line? Am I okay with that? Sure. Why not? What does the y-intercept mean in this situation? The y-intercept would be what's happening at 0, right? 1995 is your... Yeah, so the y-intercept I would say would be the expenditures in billions of dollars in 1994. Does that make sense? Right. Right. Estimate the expenditures in 2000. Good Lord. Okay, well, here's what I would do. 2000 is an X value, right? What is that X value? 6, so what would you do with 6? I'd plug in 6 into that X and solve for Y. And that would be my estimation. Does that make sense? Now, I could also, if I had made my graph more squished, then I could have looked over here at 6 and seen where my graph was and estimated it there, okay? So if you leave yourself space on your graph, then maybe you can just estimate by looking at your graph and your line of best fit. Does that make sense? Okay. If you're drawing your line of best fit on your test, should you maybe just take a piece of your test and draw your line? Okay, please do so. All right. Let's just talk about a few of these real quick. What does it mean to be parallel? Same slope. It's the second file. There. Does it only show you one? You're not even done looking at it, honey. 'Cause I gotta give you, I posted both of them, but give me a second and I'll. No, it's not test grade. It's a grade. But guys, the test isn't the test is gonna be 2 days because of all the graphing, especially with the regression, which means the test or the review will not be due until you finish the test. Yeah. No, the 2. I'm not behind. Feel free to not pass out. Okay, so we just did the non-calculator, so the calculator. Okay, look it up now. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so parallel to y equals 2x minus 3 means to have the same slope. I know y'all are still downloading and uploading, right? Okay, y'all with me yet? Okay. So y minus 5, y minus y value equals slope times x minus. Okay, is that good enough? Yeah. What does it mean to be perpendicular? So what would the slope be? Okay, so y minus 5 equals, okay, yeah, that's all you gotta do. What do you gotta do here to be perpendicular to it? You gotta find its what? So you need to find the slope. So what is the slope? The slope of this is 3/2, yeah? I would divide by -2. I don't care what the y-intercept is, yeah? I don't care about that. All I care about is what is the slope of that line. Now, if the slope of that line is 3/2, what's perpendicular to that? -2/3. So do I have enough to write my equation? Okay. -2/3, x value, y value. Done. Yes? Okay. Do y'all remember direct variation? In direct variation, y is some constant times x, right? And that constant is y divided by x, okay? So if y varies directly with x, and y equals 18 when x equals 6.5, what is the constant of variation? Well, the constant of variation is y divided by x, so 18 divided by 6.5? 18 divided by 6.5 is, ooh, that's ugly. 2.769. So then y equals my constant times x, yeah? Okay, it says find y when x equals 10. What do you do? What? That's okay, just draw an arrow. Okay. What do I do, guys? How do I find y when x equals 10? So 27.69? Okay. The height of an object varies directly with the length of its shadow. Height varies directly with length, yeah? I should say height varies directly with the length. Are you okay with that? The length of the shadow, sorry. I should say length of the shadow, but whatever. Okay, a person is 6 foot tall and casts an 8.5 foot shadow. If a tree casts a 38 foot shadow, how tall is the tree? 6 over 8.5 equals over, how do you solve? Okay, so I'm just going to multiply by 38, and 38 times 6 divided by 8.5 is the height? Okay. Okay, same deal on 23, so let's go to 24. Although the numbers are slightly off, because if you look, there's 23, again, another 23. But that's okay. Okay. 24. I meant to write that up. Oh well. Do I want to use 2004? As 2004? Yeah, let it be 1. So if this is 1, then this is, and this is 4, 5, 6. So later when they're asking me about 2015, that will be what? I'm thinking 12. 6 years past 2009 is 2015? Alright. Alright. Alright, so make a scatter plot and draw the trend line. Okay, so you could do that, blah, blah, blah. You would make your data. What would you do for the x-axis? Just, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? What about the y-axis? What are you ranging from? 1582 to 1801? So what do you think? 1550? Okay, so what do you want to do? Go by 50s? 1550, 1600, 1650, 1700. Dang it, I don't have enough room. What if I started here? 1550, 1600, 1650, 1700, 1750, 1800, and then I could just go right above it?
Yeah.
Okay. The more space, the more I have room. So 1550, 1600, 1650, 1700, 1750, 1800. So I guess technically I'm going by 25s. Break. Okay, do I want to label? Year and enrollment. Okay, you can plot and you can do that, right? Okay, I wanna find the equation of line of the best fit and the correlation coefficient in the calculator. So what do we do? Where? Stat, edit. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Oop, just kidding. 3. Ooh, good lord. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Can you read off the 5th? 16, 16, 4. Okay, I entered my data. What do I need to do? Hey guys, what do I do to make sure that I can see R? Okay, so mode, go to stat diagnostics. Okay, they're on, so that's good. Okay, so stat, now I want to what? Calculate my linear regression. Alpha do vars, y vars if you need to, or alpha trace, y1. Now, a lot of you will get that screen right here, and you put alpha trace under store regression equation, right? Under store reg eq, alpha trace, enter, I get my equation. So what is the equation for the line of best fit? X. Okay, what is the correlation coefficient? Okay, what is the enrollment in 2015? Now we just said that was when x equals what? 12, so I'm going to go to my table, and I'm going to look at 12. Now I have mine set on ask, you know what I mean? If I have mine set on ask, so I can just type in whatever I want. If yours is on auto, then maybe you just say start at 12, and you look at your table, and at 12, 2051 point. Now if this is enrollment, then I doubt we can have 0.305 people. So we might as well say 2051. Okay, we good? Okay.